This is TWiT.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to TWiT, your tech hub for intelligent, thoughtful conversations. If you want to take your experience to the next level and support what we do here at TWiT, say goodbye to ads and say hello to Club TWiT. With Club TWiT, you unlock all our shows ad-free. You also get exclusive members-only content. We do a lot of great programming just for the club members. You also get behind-the-scenes access with our TWiT Plus bonus feed and live video streams while we're recording. And don't forget the fantastic members-only Discord. It's where passionate tech fans like you and me hang out, swap ideas, and connect directly with all of our hosts. It's my favorite social network. I think you'll like it too. Club TWiT. It's not just a subscription. It's how you support what we do and become part of the TWiT family. Your membership directly supports the network, helping us stay independent and keep making the shows you love. If you're ready to upgrade your tech podcast experience, head to twit.tv/clubtwit and join us today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the club.
Hello, Craftonians and Craftonites. It is good to be here with you. We're starting at 6:01 today. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for this off-schedule crafting corner. Hello, Dustin and Dustin's wife. I will someday remember, and then I won't always say Dustin's wife. But it is so great to be here with you for this Mikah's Crafting Corner. If this is your first time tuning in, well, welcome. This is the time where we gather together and craft cozily, as it were. So you work on the things you want to work on. I work on the things I'm working on, and we share them, we talk about them, and we just hang out. It's a cozy time. Hopefully you can hear the music. Got that going. Hello, Sandra, or Sandra. Saw or Sa. In any case, we are continuing our work on the bonsai tree. So last time we were together, we built the base, or at least the start of the base, because the base is actually in two pieces. And this is the LEGO Bonsai that actually comes in two colors. Yes, it is all about the base. It has green, and it also has a sort of cherry blossom. Of course, cherry blossom trees, not actually cherry blossom trees, not actually bonsai material, but that is that nonetheless. So let's see where we are in this after we built the base. There's where you can see the bonsai, or the cherry blossom version. So, oh yes, that's right. We're not even done with the first sort of step or steps. We do the darker base last. So I believe last time we gathered together, we built the first portion. And look, I even gave myself a little page, or a dog ear, which you can't really see. There it is. I forgot that I had done that, so. You could do a bicolor version. That's a good point. I quite literally do not recall having completed this much of the next step, but apparently we did do that. So I thought that I had marked the page wrong. I did not mark the page wrong. So let's lift this up here. By the way, if you all happen to be available this Friday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific, I am raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. If you're not aware of what St. Jude Children's Research Hospital does, not only are they a true research hospital that is actively working on cures for cancer and other diseases, but they specifically focus on catastrophic disease for children. St. Jude's mission has always been to eradicate cancer in children and to make sure that no one dies in the dawn of life. And in doing so, one of the really cool things about St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is that if you are a patient there, you and your family do not pay a single dollar for treatment or travel. And often a lot more is included as well, like eating, so much is included. They want to make sure that you can treat your child and that you don't have to worry about a dime. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It's a really, really cool mission, and they put their money where their mouth is, which is awesome. So yes, on Friday, I'm going to be running a D&D campaign, and the way that it works, this will be a live stream, and while you're watching, you can donate, and certain amounts of money from $25 upward will actually have an effect on the game. And so you'll be able to watch live and see as those donations come in, and I have to sort of rewrite things or, make adjustments, and my character or my players also make adjustments based on what is happening. So it's a lot of fun. Been doing it now for 3 years or 4 years. I don't quite recall. 3 or 4 years. And just last year reached $10,000. $10,000 raised thus far. And we want to keep going. I'm trying to darken things just a hair. Change the exposure just a hair here. Yeah, all right. So let's see, where are we? So again, that's going to be Friday. I will post in the No, this isn't a TWiT live stream. This will be on YouTube. This is part of, so I host another show called Clockwise, and that show is on the Relay Network, and one of the founders of the Relay Network, his son is one of the previous patients at St. Jude, and they were able to, their son had a brain tumor, and his life was saved by St. Jude. And so ever since then, they have worked to raise money for St. Jude as a way to sort of pay back that. And so this is through Relay that I do this. It would be cool if it was simulcast. Maybe I can convince him of that sometime. I wouldn't go to that page. Hold on. I am trying to get the page. Oh, that's a great idea, to print little decorations to hang on the bonsai. So if you go to my chihuahua.coffee page, so you can go to that link. But the thing is, if you go to that link, then you won't be donating directly to my fundraiser, so then it won't have an impact on the game. My fundraiser is like a subset of the main fundraiser. And so here is the link to mine. And then here is a link to where the YouTube stream will be on Friday. So yeah, the easiest thing to do is just go to chihuahua.coffee and check that main page, and you will see both of those links there. But yeah, so far this year, we've raised, because there's a podcastathon, and this year we've raised $522,937. So we're wanting to continue on with that. Now, back to the show. But yes, it would be great if you would like to do that. That's a great idea, Dustin. All right. So where are we? This exposure is really something else. So 26. You know what I should do is I should get the Lego app, and then I can display an iPad screen that has the step-by-step on it. That might be kind of cool. As a way to do that. Anyway, all right, moving on. Keep getting distracted. So this is kind of confusing, I will say. Let me see if I can do the zoom here. It wants me to build out these little pieces that then attach to the sides of this main piece. Also, I'm sorry for the vocal fry. I've just now noticed I'm trying to be quiet, but in being quiet, I was dropping my pitch, which was starting to fry things. So apologies for that. Let me wet my whistle. Anybody else working on anything fun at the moment? Oh, Dustin, thank you so much. I really appreciated that. It's funny, we had another donation before the event actually takes place, and somebody donated $500 to add a high-level enemy to the game. And so as soon as the adventure kicks off, I'm going to have to kick it off with me doing, adding a high-level enemy to the game. I also want to show you, I don't go halfway. Let me see if I can find it. I don't do, what is it called? I don't do things in halves. That's not how it goes. Here it is. Is that the GIF or is that not the GIF? That looks like it might be a video. There we go. By half measures. Thank you. I don't do things by half measures. Is that playing back? I don't think it is. So the main person the main being that they work with in the campaign is this sort of celestial being. And so every year, for charity, I paint my skin blue. And I then do that as part of the, let me see if I can't get it to be the actual. Last year's was actually worse than it has been before because I decided to try airbrushing. I thought that would be faster and easier and it wouldn't leave as much residue. And it is true that it did not leave as much residue. However, it did not stick to my skin very well. And I also had a problem with a lot of inhalation. So this year I'm back to the body paint. But I've learned a lot since then in terms of doing sort of laying down a base and then also using this stuff called barrier spray. Also, everyone says it looks like the Statue of Liberty, and that's entirely fair. All right, now I promise I will focus. Oh, my arm is pretty thin. So this is there are going to be some people who now for the first time are learning that I have a tattoo because I don't talk about it very much. I never thought I'd be a person who would get one. But I did. And it's the only one I got. My family, I have a few people in my family, like close family, and they have gotten tattoos, and they, like many people, are the kind of people who go back for more, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to do more. I got this one and I'm done. It's not that it was not the pain or anything like that. It's just, I don't think overall it's not for me kind of a thing. That said, I'm very happy with this. So I designed this. It is a symbol for empathy. So if you actually look up online, you can find, if you type in empathy symbol, you can find one that is very similar to this, which I had to do a lot of research because I wanted to make sure, first and foremost, that it wasn't secretly some symbol in some other language that meant hate or some terrible thing, right? So I did a whole bunch of research, looked through like old stuff that were symbols of, ancient religions and everything, and I could not find anything that suggested this would be a bad thing. But the original one has this the idea is that there's a barrier, right, between two people, but you're reaching across the barrier and feeling out the other person. And so it's just a very simplistic rendition of, I'm reaching out to you, you're reaching out to me, and we're feeling each other's intentions. And empathy is super, super, super important to me. It always has been. It's something that I think is like the one superpower that humans actually can get. And it's also the thing that is at the heart of like happiness and the success of the species. And frankly, it's too often forgotten. And so, yeah, it's very important to me. And it also serves as like a reminder to myself to remember in those times where I'm feeling a little perturbed by something, like put myself in that person's shoes, get in their head, try to figure out where they're coming from. And so, yeah, I wear that reminder. It's also on my left arm because I'm left-handed. So that was very important to me as well. So yeah, my one and only tattoo, a symbol for empathy. I agree, Dustin. I also, there's a suggestion that the mirror neurons that we can develop are the things when scientists look at yawning and why we do that, and some of the other behaviors that we have, they talk about mirror neurons, and these neurons specifically fire when we are mimicking the behavior of another person as a way to show that we're not a threat and that we are, sort of living with the mindset of not trying to hurt the other person, I guess. And so they think that's one of the potential reasons for yawning. But then it's also possibly at the root of why domesticated dogs learned to stare into our eyes over time, and the development of, or the excretion of certain hormones in the brain, both in the dog and in the human, when a dog stares at you in the eyes, so that you form more of a connection with the dog. And so as a lover of dogs, it also has that impact as well. Not to say that I believe that dogs have empathy, but empathy being a sort of evolved form of that mirror neuron concept is where that tie-in comes in. So yeah, that's all. Okay, now let's see, where are we? I've got to get so many pieces out of this. I'm hoping I can get Leo to hop in. I know he's going to be out of town, but I'm hoping I can get him to hop into the stream on Friday. Got 2 of those. Yeah, the reason why I didn't have a tattoo for so long, and probably won't ever get one again, is I was always worried that if I got one, it would take a couple of days, and then even though I thought it was something I would want for a long time, it would take a couple of days, and then I was like, no, I don't want this anymore. And then I'm absolutely the person who would pay to have it removed. And I thought, if I even run the risk of paying to have it removed, then it's not something that I want, right? Like, why would I get something if I know that there's a chance that I would pay to have it removed? And so that's what took so long for me. But I really like it. Let me see. Dustin says, do any of you who are listening have tattoos? Also, I'm so sorry, chat. If you have been talking to me, I've been missing it outside of Discord. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Phoenix Warp. Looks like Phoenix Warp is the only one at the moment. But yeah, I'm curious if any of you have tattoos that you care to share. But let me read what Dustin said. After my wife's done practicing, she's going to unpick some jean shorts and draft a pattern out of them to try to recreate them. Okay. I am excited. I am so excited for you. I have been wanting to do that specifically for so long. Also, I don't know if we ever came back to say, is it Sandra or Sandra? But in any case, Sandra or Sandra, very exciting. I have, a couple of items that I own that I would love to have in different versions or make slight adjustments to them. And so I've thought about picking them apart. And then I thought, no, because I won't be able to put it back together. That's going to make me so sad. But very cool. I have to ask, how did you learn to sew? Did you teach yourself? Were you taught by a family member? Did you take classes? I've been thinking about taking some classes here in Portland. They're a little on the expensive side, and that's one of the reasons why, but it's also a big time commitment. And September is a very busy month. It's my partner's birthday month. It is, this is also the St. Jude month every year. And so, and new iPhones, it's all at the same time. So I have, it's kind of going to go on. Okay, self-taught with some online help. Tell me more about online help. Are you watching videos? Are you reading? What are you doing there? Paul, do I have your permission to read this out loud? Because I think this is very interesting. So I asked about tattoos. Phoenix Warp says, my upper body had a bunch of tattoos, Alien, lots of Alice in Wonderland, Coraline, Mushrooms, Star Trek, and Star Wars symbols, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Max from Where the Wild Things Are, etc. And Phoenix Warp says, I'm a tad darker than you, Mikah, so I have to stick with black, red, and very light blue and green. Totally understand. That's cool. My aunt, she literally everything that you named, she probably also has on her body as well. Like, that is her brand of nerd, is all of the stuff that you mentioned. I'm trying to think of even maybe some things that she could even, that I would even add to that. Perhaps a Beavis and Butthead. I could see her having, but let me go back. Paul says, I tried the less permanent option and got a nipple piercing when I turned 30. I celebrated my birthday alone while on a contract out of country and thought, what the heck? I didn't regret it, but it wasn't always perfectly healthy, and then it grew out and I kind of felt like good riddance. So I don't see I would ever get something as permanent as a tattoo. I've got, Daria, absolutely, 100% my aunt. I got this cartilage piercing up here. And so for people who are just listening and not watching, it's called like a reverse, let me see, ear piercing types. It is a forward helix, not a reverse helix, but a forward helix. And so fun fact, I actually had my reverse helix on this side pierced right before I got the call from Leo Laporte, CEO of TWiT, asking me if I wanted to work for the company. And when I came to or moved to, one of the two, it must have been when I visited, but I mean, I shortly moved right after that. So maybe that's what it was. No, it wasn't when I got the call. It would have been after I got the call, but before I moved to California, I got this pierced. Well, my first day on set, I had an in-ear monitor, but it was one of those old school ones with I shouldn't say old school, but it's one of the ones that has I think they are kind of old school. Burke will know what they're called, but they have like the coil and it's just on one side. And hey, Joe. And it was interfering with this. And at the time, I thought that it was like going to be a requirement for me to wear this specific thing. I didn't know that I would be able to wear what I wanted to wear in terms of headphones. And so it was causing me to feel like it was causing me pain because it was kind of healing. So I took it out. And so I hadn't had that pierced in a long time. And then I just kind of went forward without it. And it healed up really easily, which I was surprised because usually that's one of the things about cartilage piercings is they don't heal very easily. Well, I got it re-pierced, and Lord have mercy, it has been a journey of healing. I did not know it was going to take this long. And so it's fine overall. And it's mostly there, but I've had a couple of times where I've gone in and they're like, oh, it's still got some healing to do before we can sort of change it. So yeah, that's been annoying. Love this question from Phoenix Warp. So Phoenix Warp asks, how did you find out about TWiT then? Were you a listener first? So all the way back in 2010 to 2011, I was a listener of MacBreak Weekly. That was the only show on the network that I listened to. I don't think I knew that iOS Today was around at the time. If it was, I can't remember what year iOS Today launched. But I had been a follower of iMore for some time, and so I was a follower of Renee, and so I would watch MacBreak Weekly, and loved that show, would download it every week, watch it, or listen to it mostly, occasionally watch it. And I think that's where a lot of the sponsors at the time are stuff that ended up being an important part of what I do, and things that I enjoy, like Text Expander and all of the other apps. And then I started working. So at the time I was that would have been right before I went to college. I went to college, continued to listen to the podcasts, including MacBreak Weekly, and ended up working for a company called Newsy, and I started out as a video editor there. A friend of mine I was in high school. He was a news anchor at the local news company in my hometown. And he was tasked with building out a morning news team. And he needed someone who could edit video. Well, I happened to be in high school. I produced with my friends, and then I video edited a web show. And he ended up talking to me about it. And so he knew that I was able to edit video. So he said, hey, you want to come and work for the company? Do this. I said, yeah. Well, I said, I'd really like to do more. And he said, well, we got to get you writing. So I started writing. I was writing all about tech, consumer tech. And then I started anchoring. I had to learn that. And then I ended up, by the time I left that company, I was running the consumer tech vertical. And I was also in charge of teaching new people how to be an anchor there, because we weren't doing it later on in the afternoon news. So trying to teach them how to be more laid back and just deliver. And so I would provide feedback and kind of work with them to get them ready for that. then I started working at iMore. I left that company. I didn't like where it was going. And so I left that company, went to iMore. While I was there, started doing more tech podcasts, and then a couple of times got invited on iOS Today with Megan Moroney. And then got an invite to, I think, MacBreak Weekly. I'll never forget that time that I was a guest on MacBreak Weekly, because the producer at the time only had my email, didn't have my other information, right? And she was emailing me going, don't be afraid to interject. Don't be afraid to hop in. Just sending like email over email over email over email, being like, it's okay to interrupt. And because it's email, I'm not seeing them. It's not the same thing as getting a text message. This is more instant, right? And so afterward, I saw this long string of emails and I was like, oh no, they're never going to invite me back. I didn't talk enough. But I kept doing iOS Today, which frankly was a little bit easier to have a conversation because it was more of a back and forth, just the two people. And also Megan is really good at, giving space. And so I did that. And then something, I think there was a time where I was maybe asked to just host it while Megan was out or something. And so I did that, and that went well. And then it was shortly after that I ended up getting an email first from Lisa. You have time for a call? I said, yeah, we can talk. And I thought, it was just going to be a question of, hey, do you want to host this other show or whatever as a guest host while host is away? And she said, would you like to work for the company? And I said, oh, wow, that'd be cool. And she said, okay, we'll need you to move to California, come work at the studio, And I was like, oh, never mind. I have to move to California. I lived in California when I was a kid, Southern California. And this brain, not a geography brain at all. I don't know why I'm doing two cameras here. Not a geography brain at all. So my thought was not that California is a very long state and therefore can have multiple climates, but that if you're in California, you will have the climate of California that in my case, I remembered in Southern California, which I hated. It was hot. I remember there would be heat waves that came with bug waves. So you'd have like gnats, clouds of gnats flying through all over the place. I lived in Oceanside, California. And so that was the first thing. Like I hate heat. I do. Hot weather, I mean. And I mean, part of that's coming from Missouri during the summer with the humidity and everything, miserable. But Missouri has seasons and has winter, and I love winter and I love fall. Hate being hot. So, I thought there's no way. Plus, I know it's expensive and I've got 2 dogs and I can't be feeding them Cheerios because I can't afford their food and mine. But Lisa was awesome and said, I just want you to come out and see, come check it out. And I was still hesitant. At the time, I was working as a freelance journalist, tech journalist. And the only thing that I had going regularly was my weekly podcast, Clockwise. And so I thought, even paying for a ticket to fly out there to see if it was something that I wanted to do, and buying or, paying for a rental car to get around and paying for a hotel room and all of this other stuff, that's going to be very difficult. And so I was kind of trying to balance all of that with also acknowledging the opportunity that it was and try to figure it out. And again, that's where Lisa was awesome and said, no, we will fly you out. That's not something you need to worry about. And so I did. I flew out and checked everything out. And it was when I touched down I'm embarrassed to say, it wasn't until I touched down that I got out of the plane and said, oh, it's a little bit chilly. And I realized, Mikah, Southern California is not the same as Northern California. And you don't have to worry about it being this horrible heat wave all the time. And so that was the first thing. And I really enjoyed sort of the little visit that I had, checking out the company and everything. And I believe it was just 1 month later from when I flew out to when I moved. In fact, I think while I was there, was that the case? Yeah, I think while I was there visiting to check it out, I ended up going and touring an apartment to see, could this be the place where the dogs and I stay or live? And that ended up being the apartment that I lived in. Actually, for the whole time that we were in California, for the whole time I was in California, that's the apartment that I ended up living in. So yeah, that's kind of the whole story of my trip to Cali. All right, let me see. I think I've got all the pieces now. So we need to, let me flip this back. We take this piece and connect them here. And then we take this piece and we connect it here. And then this piece goes here. Oh, also, Joe, I was just about to say, I will be getting back to you soon. I was just telling everybody about the St. Jude stream on Friday. It's just been a very big, we've got iPhone, we've got St. Jude stream, we've got my partner's birthday. It's all happening all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. But I'm very excited. I don't want you to think I'm not. Now that's interesting. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, I see. Let me do the zoom. Oh, wait, I needed to go back to Sandra. Sandra said, currently subscribed to vintagesewing.school.com. An online sewing school designed to teach you how to sew clothes that fit you. Okay, that's cool. You say to yourself, I'm going to learn how to sew, but it still hasn't happened, mostly because you have no one to show you. You've sewn a few things, but they didn't really turn out how you wanted and mostly ended up looking like homemade disasters. Maybe you've made a number of garments, but have been terribly disappointed after all that work because they just didn't fit properly. Perhaps you tried to sew in the past, but just became frustrated and confused by pattern instructions. Maybe you tried other sewing programs, but they focused on sewing a specific pattern rather than teaching you the skills you needed so you can, work on your own fun projects. Let me know, Dustin, if there's a referral link or anything like that. Because, Sandra, thank you. Oh, no. It's closer to the first version you say, but since she's been in Canada for 13 years, she's just given up and Sandra is fine. Well, I'd rather say it closer. As a person with a name that's confusing for some people, Sandra. I would like to say it as close as possible. In any case, if there is a referral link, let me know because I will use that to purchase that. My friend and I could end up doing that instead of having to go to a class, which would save money. Wait, what am I supposed to do with it? somehow stick it on the side. Justin versus Dustin. That's terrible. Mine, of course, would be Mikah or Mikah. Sometimes Mikah, but that one just makes me go, do you know what you're saying? It depends on the situation for me. There are times when I just let go and let God, as it were. And there are times when I feel like I want my name to be said how it is, because I like my name. But I suppose it's also very Canadian, right? To say, it's fine. Or is that is that not the case? Am I just doing a false trope? For the people listening, Dustin says, no, it's true. Yeah, Mikah is wild. I don't even know where you get that. I am missing a piece. There it is. All right. So I think this is the same thing we did last time, just from the other direction. Okay, no referrals. You should tell them they should do that. Well, I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. That's silly, but they should do that. How is it pronounced, Phoenix Warp? Is it like FOLKS? A 50s dress? That's awesome. Sandra has made a 50s dress. Does it have polka dots? This one looks different. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, no, we're good. It's just the opposite of it. Mint green. Sold. I love these little bendy ones. They did not have any fun green this year, Paul, sadly, but they had a fun green case. And so I have the fun green case, but I have the deep blue iPhone, and that blue looks so good with the green. It's showing up as a lot brighter on this camera because this camera's being a goof. Let me see if I put it here. There, that's more true to life. Really digging the color combination quite a bit. It's weird. This Insta360 has been great. And in the last, I don't know, couple of days? No, in the last week or so. Yeah, those little clippy things at the bottom are for the crossbody strap. the last couple of weeks, the color and exposure have been off, and no matter my adjustments, they don't seem to solve the problem. So I'm a little perturbed. Okay, so then I need to take 2 of these and put them... Should that part be out? Yes. Picked up a GoPro Hero to try to record my painting. Made the mistake of trying that with a head strap. Oh no! Grabbed a chest strap to try next time. Yeah. That is so pretty. Wow. Very pretty dress. I love the mint green. That's interesting. I thought maybe that point of view experience, Joe, would be nice. Are you considering the Ray-Ban, the Meta Ray-Ban things? That could be a great way to show off your painting. I know though that they are Meta, which is yeah. Joe says, I would if it wasn't Meta. I'm right there with you. I might still try them, but I will not keep them. I need a chocolate brown piece, and I'm not seeing it. Is it hiding from me? Here's the deep oh, never mind. No, I don't. Yeah, fair enough. As long as it doesn't have to go to the cloud. I worry about people's privacy. That's why if I did try it, I would have to be very careful about where and how. Maybe I will record or stream or something my process for getting ready with the paint. That might draw in some more people. And then that could also happen earlier in the day. I know people had complaints about how late it was. This is not for Crafting Corner, to be clear. I'm talking about the Friday stream. I also thought about doing a, because you can set, along with these sort of main rewards, you can set like milestone rewards. So if the donation amounts reach this amount, then X happens. And I thought about, if it reaches X amount, I don't know yet, I will, like it's the 90s, bleach the tips of my hair. That would be hilarious and horrible. I've never done anything to my hair except cut it. And so that could be, you see, yeah, Joe said I'd donate to that. Yeah. I think about Leah with the tattoo as being a pretty extreme thing, but a thing that people really wanted to get to. And this felt like a less extreme, but still kind of high stakes thing. But you'd all have to forgive me when you're watching my shows. Or I could just wear a hat. But I suppose part of it is you have to show it off, right? That's what makes it a sacrifice. This is a very intricate piece that uses a lot of these pivoting pieces. I know I've just said piece twice, but I don't know what to call them. But yeah, this is quite the engineering marvel as far as I'm concerned. Ah, that's a great idea. If you pick apart your favorite garment, take lots of photos along the way so you know kind of how it goes back together. Okay, now this is supposed to be able to go here, but I'm having trouble for some reason. If I put that there, that doesn't go there. But if I put that there, that doesn't go there. What am I doing wrong? Can this come over more? No. Oh, that's why, because I was so silly. I was placing it wrong. You're holding it wrong. We'll be publishing a full review of the new iPhone on Sunday. I needed at least a week with it. This claims it wants one of these plus brown piece bricks on the right only, which is kind of odd. But that's what it says. So that's what I'll do. Now this wants the frog. Ribbit. Come on, you can do it. It's the frog. And then a dark brown piece, excuse me, behind the frog. Then wants this to go on the darker one, like so. And then we take the little root piece. I think it's a tail, actually, in real Lego, or in the original Lego, instead of a root or branch. And this goes on the side with the frog, like so. Yeah, I agree. Paul says, gosh, Discord video stopping is annoying. They need a button just for disconnect and reconnect. Yeah, that would be nice. It's only job is to just say, stop and restart. Turn it off and on again. And now this goes here onto the piece we made earlier. Wow. And then we take this and this. I can't tell which way this is supposed to go, though, this little tiny one. Ah, looks like it goes down. I wonder if I could get a whole sewing rig into the camera for future crafting corners. Okay, I guess I'm going to put that to the side for now. Sorry, just out of frame there. That piece, let me see about something here. I know that's really blown out the instructions, but at least we can see the pieces a little bit better. Then we'll put that right there. Wow, I know. I didn't realize it. An hour already? What in the world? Didn't we just get started on this? My stomach is certainly saying, you've been at this, but my brain is perplexed. Okay, interesting. So I found it kind of odd the way that there were some uneven parts. Part of it was just a little bit farther down. Part of the attachments were a little bit farther down. Part of them were farther up. And I was wondering why. And that is because this is built to fit that. So when we put this onto here, why are there bugs in here? When we put this on here, it should, in theory, fit onto that. Oh, I see this. No, that doesn't really bend, so I don't know what the dealio is. Should that be one down? No, it can't be. I don't know. Let's check back. Yeah, that's just one below. We've got those, and then this brown piece. Does this move at all? No, it doesn't. Okay. This is odd. I'm just not pleased with how this fits on there. It doesn't feel very sturdy. Well, there was a snap at least. We like a snap. Ah, I knew that was going to happen. Demolishing it from the inside. Okay. We're just going to have to be happy with that. Now let's read. I love whenever it's got these little instructions. This is one of the first times this particular element has been used in a Lego set in a reddish brown color. This being what? Oh, this piece. Yes, thank you, Paul. I saw the three colors at the bottom, and I had not read 2 or 3 yet, and so I didn't know they were in a different language, and so I thought that it was trying to do a key, and so I was looking back for whatever was highlighted in yellow, and then what was highlighted in blue, and then what was highlighted in green. But now I realize it was just talking about the piece on the page. So we'll take these tubes. I've got 3 of them. And we stick the red rods into them, like so. And then they attach to the outside. That needs to go back toward the back of it. Et voila. Then we take the other tube, pop that in. And this goes onto the frog one, facing the other way. It certainly looks a little goofy. It's the first time these Lego vine elements have appeared in a reddish brown color. Wow, a lot of first times here. So these vine elements are going to attach and be kind of twisted around. God, the glare is just devastating. So if we're looking from the back of here, I can see, oh, that's got to be turned around like so. I thought it was supposed to go the other way. There we go. And then what we're going to do is put this piece on here and twist it around. Wow, my Australian is fading in and out. I apologize. And we twist it around like so. And they both attach onto this one down here. It's got a slight tinge of New Zealander, actually. And then we'll stick that on there. And it goes. Wow, that's kind of cool. Around, whoops. Around and over on here. Mark Weber. Mark Weber. Weber. I don't know. All right. There we go. That's kind of cool. The vines are really neat. Bendy Irwin. Get it because they're bendy. Mark. Yeah, that's one of the names I love to hear an Australian person say. Mark. Ooh, that's a satisfying click. I, whoops, doubt it showed up, but it is nice. It looks like that fits on here. Like so. Gorgeous. Righteous even. And this one fits up under here, like that. Planning out how to do these things that are meant to kind of look natural is really interesting to me. Trying to figure out how to get it to all work together and yet still have some sense of organic feel to it, I think is fascinating. These root pieces were originally used as elephant trunks. Oh, hi, Mark. All right, so that has been attached, fastened, placed. And now, to finish off crafting corner for this evening, we are going to zoom out, open up this bag, and then take these various colors of single pieces with a flat top. They don't even have a little nubbin on top, connector on top. And then we're going to shake this bag. In fact, let me see if I can't. Well, I guess, yeah, I'm not connected via Zoom. Darn, I don't know. I've probably got noise cancellation going on in so many places that I can't really turn it off, but I want to. I guess if I talk while I shake the bag, perhaps that will work. Then maybe you'll be able to hear it without it cutting off my voice, or without cutting off the sound. It was all so very serene until the bag shake. And now we just get to dump it in to the base. Oh, you could hear the snap earlier? Fantastic. And just like I would with stones for a real, whoops, no, stones for a real bonsai, I'm excited. I've got a juniper on the way. It's been a while since I've tried to work with a juniper bonsai, but I feel like I have the space, the access, and the desire all at once to shape a nice juniper bonsai. So a lot of pink over there, or salmon. It's a little light for salmon. Tuna, canned tuna. There we go. Yeah, I do remember your plant pics, Phoenix Warp. As soon as it gets here, well, the next time that we do this, I'll show it, and we can kind of keep track of the choices that I make for it. I wish it would. Oh, it does say there are 200 total pieces that make up the soil, 50 of each color, 50 orange, 50 pistachio. No, let's do better, Mikah. 50 pumpkin pie filling, 50 pistachio, 50 canned tuna, and 50 dried up gum on a New York subway. Are the 4 colors that are included in this. Next time we gather together, we will be building out the rest of the tree, adding the final components. I will be doing the green, not the pink, because the green feels a little bit more realistic. And since it's already Lego, I want to make it look kind of real. Craftians and Craftonians, thank you so much for being here this evening. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. It's always a pleasure to get together with you once a month and chat and relax and craft. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all again soon. I hope you have a good evening or afternoon or morning or whatever time it might be for you. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Back to the normal time next month. So check the Discord for that.